So we're jumping into week 2. Last week we saw Jesus come on the scene and inaugurate his kingdom message. The kingdom of God is breaking into earth. The next few passages that we're skipping over but come in rapid sequence. Jesus gathers his first followers from some unlikely sources. He gathers fishermen and says, "Come and follow me." And then things happen very fast in the Gospel of Mark. Start noticing how many times the word immediately shows up again and again in the next several chapters. In the text that we're looking at today, he starts off by healing Peter's mother-in-law, and she gets up from a fever and begins to serve them. And one cool observation that I always love to point out, the word serve is the word where we get the word deacon, one of the ministries of the church, to serve. The next time that word to serve, to diakono, it shows up in the Gospel of Mark is in chapter 10, where Jesus talks about himself as the one who came to serve and to give himself as a ransom for many. So maybe that'll spark some good conversations. This is more than just a picture of one woman standing up and serving Jesus and his disciples. It also seems to be a precursor of what does it look like to do ministry in the church. Would love for you to dive into that. At the end of the story, we get to another rapid fire sequence of healing, and he heals this leper, where Jesus actually reaches out his hand and touches this leper who is unclean. The text in the background here is back in Leviticus chapter 14, but the uncleanliness of the Old Testament is at play here. And usually when we look at the law, what happens is uncleanliness only goes in one direction. If you touch something unclean, you become unclean yourself. But Jesus somehow can reverse the process. He is able to touch this man who is unclean and through his power and his presence able to say, "You now become clean." He then, interestingly, we sometimes think Jesus came to completely abolish the law and to throw it out entirely, and yet somehow he kind of reverses our expectations and then tells this man, "Go and do what the law says." There's something good about that. Go to the temple and restore yourself, not only physically, but emotionally and relationally. To do that, to offer that sacrifice and to have the priest proclaim cleanliness over this man would have restored him to the community. So this man was being physically cleaned of this skin ailment. He was being healed and made clean by Jesus, but Jesus says, you're not done yet. You need to go back into the temple and restore yourself to the community. So take some time, look through the repetitions. There's some great stuff in this passage as we learn about what does it look like for Jesus to launch this kingdom mission, to gather his followers, and the sorts of actions that he's participating in and calling people to is just fascinating. So I'm looking forward to jumping in to week 2 with you all.